Hi guys, welcome back. It feels really good to be back here. There's been a lot that's been going on the past little bit. So not only have I certified to teach restorative yoga, but I also finished my 200-hour teacher training, which was amazing, and certified to be a yoga teacher as well. But the other thing that kind of came with all of this change was the fact that I went to Costa Rica on vacation shortly after. And when I came back, there was this huge shift in my perspective of where I want to go in life and what I want to do. And along with all of that came this whole idea of getting rid of stuff, or just having the idea that, you know how it's like your mind is a reflection of your space. So if your space is cluttered, your mind is cluttered. Well, I just kept on noticing that my mind was cluttered. Everything was just cluttered. I had way too much stuff. And I realized that I wasn't really happy with what I had. There was just too many things going on. And I just realized, I'm like, when is all of this stuff ever going to really be enough for me? I'm going to continually buy things until I'm happy, but when is that ever going to be the case? And we always get into that kind of perpetual cycle of, stuff makes us happy, when in fact it really doesn't. And why I brought up Costa Rica as well is because they live so simply. They're so happy with what they have, and they don't ask for anything more. They work hard so that they can have food on their plate, clothes on their back, and a roof over their head for shelter. And they enjoy life as much as they possibly can. They do everything they possibly can to enjoy life to the fullest in that way. And I came back with this kind of mentality, with this shift already kind of in place. And it was like Costa Rica was just like the tipping point that brought it all together there for me. And with that being said, 7 ways for us to live simply, guys. So the first thing we can do in order to live a little bit more simply, as well as increase our overall happiness, so we don't have to be going out and buying everything and collecting and accumulating so much stuff, is exercise. It's a no-brainer, guys. It has such a profound effect on our happiness, as well as studies have shown that it helps to overcome depression. Now, it's just a matter of which form of exercise do you gravitate towards and just go for it. 7 minutes has been shown to just be enough. So go get it, guys. The second thing that we can do in order to have a little bit more happiness is sleep. I love this one because I love to sleep. And there's so very few people out there who actually put importance on getting enough sleep. In fact, we actually only get 1 hour less than we actually need when we sleep. So when we wake up, we feel like we've been rested enough, but not quite enough, which is why we sometimes feel a little bit tired, a little bit groggy. So that's why, is because we actually need 1 more hour of sleep in order for us to actually have the optimum sleep levels. Now, the other thing too is that sleep has a profound effect as well on not only our productivity and our focus and attention, as we all know, but it also has a profound effect on our and on the way that we receive negative emotions. So studies have shown that we are receptive to negative emotions when we are sleep deprived versus when we are not. So when we have slept enough, we are actually able to receive positivity, and we're also able to remember great pleasant emotions and memories and feelings in that way. So get some sleep. So the other one is community and having our family and our friends around. So basically our tribe. Who is in your tribe, in your wolf pack? Who is there for you? Now, the quality of our friendships and our relationships and the people who are in our community also really impact our happiness. They're the ones who lift us up. They're the ones who support us in our adventures. These are the people who we want surrounding us because they make us happy. And being around them just lifts our happiness up and makes us even more happy. Studies have shown that friendships can be worth up to $100,000 in that regard. So have friends, guys. Don't just have friends for the sake of friends either. Have friends because you want to have friends. Have friends because they are people that you actually want to be around with and have in your tribe and have support you and spend your days with. So the next thing we can do to live a little bit more simply, guys, is to connect back to nature, to get outside and spend more time in nature. Even if it's just 20 minutes, that's what studies have shown. It's just 20 minutes in nature has drastically improved our levels of happiness. I personally feel it's the idea of connecting back to our roots, connecting back to what has created this earth. You know, you've got birds chirping, you've got squirrels running around, you've got nature kind of just running its course right in front of you, which is really kind of beautiful. You know, whether it's, connecting back to the earth, connecting back to the air, the fresh air compared to this urban jungle that we live in where it's so polluted that it's so nice and refreshing to breathe in fresh air, and to connect back to water, and fire if you happen to be near a fire pit or something. But it's this idea of connecting back, and it elevates our mood. It boosts us up like it's nobody's business. And research has shown this. So I'm not lying to you guys here. It's not just what my feeling, but get outside into nature, connect back for like 20 minutes and go for that walk. Maybe this is your exercise. Boom. 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So next on our list is helping others, being of service to others, volunteering, whatever you may call it. This is huge in improving our happiness and in terms of living a little bit more simply, because when we help other people and we see the happiness that comes with it, it just automatically makes us happier that we were able to help someone's happiness, that we were able to bring up someone else's happiness there and help them in that moment. The other reason why it's so important is it's so cliche, but it's like it's the gift that keeps on giving in a way. It's like you give a gift to someone else and they're happy, you feel happier. And studies have shown that when you spend money on other people, when you spend time doing kind acts to other people, it boosts up your happiness. You feel happier doing this for other people than you do for yourselves and buying other material goods in that way, or spending your time doing more selfish things. Not saying that you have to spend all of your time doing this, because 100 hours a year is all that you really need to do, which is nothing when you think about it. When you think about how much time we spend doing other things, 100 hours is really not a lot. So go out there, guys, volunteer, be of service, make other people happy, because that essentially is just going to boost up your own happiness there. So the next thing we can do is smile. And this seems really kind of silly because it's like, well, of course I'm going to smile if I'm happy. But there's also that whole idea where your physiology creates your psychology, right? And it goes back to exercising as well. But, if your physiology dictates something that isn't all that happy, or it's a little bit, negative and pessimistic, then your brain is going to receive it that way. Whereas if you are putting out this perspective of, happiness and positivity and optimism, then your brain is going to receive it that way. So you have to be really, really careful in how you are holding yourself. And your smile is a huge part of this. So when we're talking about smiling, we're not just talking about a corner of the smile, corner of the mouth smile. We're talking about smiling with your eyes. We're talking about, this part right here, where when you're smiling and you're having that really big smile and you're really happy, your eyes show it, versus when you're just smiling just for the sake of smiling. It's like when you're upset with your mom when you're a kid and she's like, oh, put a smile on your face, and you're like, you weren't really happy, and it doesn't really show that you're happy. So with that also, the one thing I encourage is laughing. Just laughing for the sake of laughing, finding something that you enjoy, putting it on and laughing, because that is also going to help trigger that real smile that you have there. So smile, guys, and do real smiles. Real smiles, that's all I ask. So the last thing that we can do in order for us to live simply is to meditate. Now, I know this sounds a bit fluffy for some people, or it's not really kind of up your alley, but there has been so many studies that have shown that meditation actually helps with our level of happiness. Mainly because not only does meditation, allow us to be more self-aware, it helps us with our attention span, it helps us with our focus and clarity and help keeping us calm, but it clears out the junk in our head. It clears out the chatter. It clears out all that daily stress and struggle that we go through that we really don't need to go through. And that's why meditation is really awesome, because it just helps us to clear everything that we need and have clarity in our mind, and how it allows us to be compassionate and empathetic and just see the world for what it really is, and allows us to just be. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 7 simply ways of living simply, because really that's exactly what it is. It's just 7 simple ways to live more simply, to boost our happiness, and to be just more grateful that we have in our life. So take it from there. Take it from the Costa Ricans, and take it from everyone else who lives a little bit more of a happier life than everyone else. Be grateful for what we have, because when we start to live in that state of mind, everything else just becomes enough. And it's this beautiful realization that we are enough, and that we have enough, and that everything is just going to work out pretty awesomely in that way. So thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do whatever you need to do to pass along this message, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. Until next time, bye, guys.